the first thing I think we should do is show you what's in my sewing box. Everybody always asks what you got in your sewing box. There's nothing fancy in there, but it is worth having a look. It's just, obviously my sewing box is Japanese, of course it is. Made in Kyoto, very, very beautiful. It's very old now as well. We've also got a teddy in there, but the teddy's for later. We'll keep him in there. When you start off with your sashiko journey, your Japanese craft journey, there's just a few things that we need. So we're going to start, it's a very simple box, there's not a lot in there. So we're going to start with a pair of snips. Now, can you guess why I've got dingly bits on my snips? The reason is nobody can steal it. If you pick those up in a class, somebody can hear that and they go, I've got hold of my snips. So I've got a small pair of snips on my snips. So in Japan we use bells a lot. One, it tells you when somebody's picked your scissors up, but also they ward away evil spirits, which apparently hasn't worked because you haven't met my cameraman. So we're going to start with the snips. These are Japanese snips. You don't have to have an expensive pair. These were expensive because I've got the chance to get over to Japan twice a year, so I can get things cheaper. But it's like any pair of scissors. If you have a good pair of scissors or a good pair of snips, they're going to last you a lifetime. These ones actually go back to Japan and they actually get sharpened. Cost me about £3 to get them sharpened. So a pair of snips. If you haven't got a pair of snips, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to put them there. This is the cheaper pair of snips that you can buy. You can buy them absolutely anywhere. They're about £4, as opposed to £40 for the other snips. But they'll work just as well. They won't last as long, but you can keep replacing them. When we start with sashiko, we need to have certain things. So I'm going to get these out now. So we need a pen. We obviously need a needle. We need one of these. We need one of these. So I'm trying to get out just the very, very basics that you're going to need. So you're not worried that you can't get started with sashiko because you haven't got all the equipment that you need. I've got a handy little drawer in my sewing box as well. So in the drawer we have sashiko thread. There's a full lesson on sashiko threads when we get further down the line that explains which ones to use, how you use them, how not to get them tangled. Some normal thread, some pins. That's basically all you need to do sashiko. You've got a needle threader, you've got a white pen, you've got your thread, your snips, a needle, and if you've got a piece of fabric, you're good to go with your sashiko. One thing I do have that I really need to show you, because I'm a big fan of having special things. I like things that are really, really special. So this is really, really special. This was made for me by one of my tour guests in Japan. It's hand stitched, and if I had to take anything out of my house other than the cats, well, the cat's the husband. Yeah, that's right, the cat's the husband and the sewing box, this would come with me. So this was handmade. She did actually make, don't tell my mother-in-law, she did actually make two, but Chris never got hers because I really liked it. So sorry Chris, you're not getting it now. So little special things like this make stitching even better. So if you can put your own little twist into it, it's like this little case. We're going to make one of those later on, so you can put your pins and you can put your needles in. You don't need this many needles to do sashiko. You need 2 needles, a short one and a long one. And again, when I do the short class on the threads, I'll explain which needles you use, which fabric you use. So we're going to go in depth. We're going to do absolutely everything from square one, and it's even going to be good for people who haven't done sashiko, but it's going to be equally as good for people who have done sashiko. I had a book out in 2019 and it won Craft Book of the Year. And I think it won Craft Book of the Year because it was explained from scratch how to do things. I don't miss things out. I don't tell you things with the hope that you're going to buy the next book. I show you things to get you interested and get you hooked. Once you're hooked, you'll then want to buy the next book because it's got projects in it. But I don't hold back, and anybody who's ever been on one of my classes will tell you that if you ask me a question, I won't lie, I'll tell you the truth, and if I don't know the answer, I won't tell you the answer. But I'll find out. So again, if you've got questions, give me a shout. So the thread is important. This is probably the most important thing in my box other than my needles, and this is just a simple needle threader. You can see there it's got a little hook at the end to pull your thread through. When you're using Japanese threads, what you try not to do is you try not to split them, and if you're using a needle threader, the world's good. Now, a lot of people have the penny needle threaders, you know, the little silver ones that you hold, that you get free in sewing kits, and they break within 30 seconds. The reason they break is because you're not holding them in the right place. You have to hold them on the wire. If you hold it on the wire, you can even make a penny needle threader last for years. I mean, I've got a posh one, of course. I've got a Japanese one. What else would I have? This is another thing that has saved my life on so many occasions. This is a tiny, tiny pair of Japanese scissors. Look at that. Is that not? I just had to have them because they were cute. But I do use them. They're on my key ring. So if I'm working away, I'm on a train. Not when I'm driving, because that would be really silly. If I'm on the plane, I've got a little pair of snips to use. Because when I'm on the plane going over to Japan, I like to do some nice stuff. I don't want to just sit and watch films. So I'm usually getting my head round away, going to Japan, getting my guests happy, meeting the guests, starting the tours, which is busy what I plan all year round. And I've got to occupy myself as well. So I've been doing sashiko about 30 years now. So we got a little pair of scissors. Not necessary, but really nice. This is a nice addition as well. A lot of people have one of these, but they have no idea what to do with it or where to put it. This is a sashiko thimble. This does not go where normal thimbles go onto your thumb. This is going to go onto the pad of your finger. So it's got an elastic part here. It's going to go onto the pad of your finger. And when you're pressing down your needle, that's the bit that gets pinholed. So a Japanese thimble sits here. Sometimes you get metal ones, works exactly the same. They don't go on the front, they actually go on the back, and they go in here. There'll be loads of little tips like this all the way through, so I try and give you as many tips as I can as we go in. Oh, this is this is what you need in your box. Have you ever seen these before? This is when you drop your sashiko needles. It's a magnetic dabber. You know, when you drop your needles behind the skirting boards, whatever, you drop them. This is what you need. You need one of those. The other thing we were talking about is this pen here. This is by a company called Skein, obviously a Japanese company. And it's just a chalk pen. But the beauty of this one is, let's just draw it onto here, just so you can see. Because it rubs off, so it doesn't matter. So we're just going to draw into the centre there. So normally with a chalk pen, they're really quite thick. We want really fine detailed lines. So with a chalk pen like this from Skein, all you do is you draw, and you see how fine that line is. You probably can't even see it, it's that fine. We are going to do lots of in-depth things. We're going to go close up. We're going to go as far into the threads as you can possibly get. Because you've got all the modern tech and all the posh equipment now. We can do that. And a man who knows how to use the posh equipment, which is always helpful. So this is what we're going to do to draw our sashiko lines with. So this is probably a key thing to have in your sewing box. You always need a picture of your cat. Always got a picture of the cat. That's it. That's all you need to do sashiko sewing. A bit of thread, a bit of fabric, a pair of scissors if you haven't got snips, the correct needle, which again I'll explain later, and that's all we need to get going with sashiko. We've got loads more projects coming soon. Subscribe so you don't miss them.